There is so much to look forward to, not only in terms of the drivers, but we've got some new cars on the grid. We've got different teams running different machinery. Adrian Flux with PowerMax Racing, the return of Jason Plato, the return of Dan Lloyd as well. An awful lot to look forward to.
The 2021 Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship was one of the fiercest on record. Full grids at every round made sure that the action was intense. At each event there were 3 championship point scoring races, with the more successful drivers needing to carry ballast to ensure close racing and variable results. With front and rear wheel drive cars from manufacturer and independent teams, there was action all the way. There was an option tyre at 4 events, and that softer tyre would affect the pace of the cars and the race results as well. The scene was set for a season full of drama as dreams were realised or dashed, races won and lost in the toughest touring car championship of all.
My name is Adam Weaver.
My name is Martin Broadhurst.
My name is Matt James.
I'm the owner and team principal of PowerMax Racing.
I'm the team manager and technical director for PowerMax Racing.
So I'm the editor of Motorsport News and I've covered British touring cars since 2004.
PowerMax is part of Automotive Brands, which is a business that I own and involved in. And we manufacture a whole manner of car care products. We sell to virtually every motor factory and motor store in the UK, and the opportunity came up to buy a team. So there was a team that we were involved with. They were a single car team. They were struggling financially, and we couldn't justify putting in that level of sponsorship to continue for a second year, and the opportunity came up to actually buy the team. That was really the start of PowerMax Racing and PowerMax owning its own race team.
These cars are not like driving a TCR car or any other racing car. They're a unique animal, so you need to learn the quirks and how it feels to maximise the performance.
The first stop was Thruxton after a COVID-delayed start to the season. Thruxton, the fastest circuit in the UK, the perfect place for round 1.
This is always one of the greatest weekends of the year. It's the first race back in the season. Everyone's been away from the track since November last year. Nobody knows quite how good anybody's going to be, so we're here at Thruxton for the first round to try and work out what the pecking order is likely to be this year, who's got an advantage car-wise, who hasn't, and just generally shake out the order. Well, this place is sort of, we've given it the nickname the Cauldron of Speed. I mean, it's the fastest track in the UK, and it's no place for a rookie. You've really got to know your stuff around here. You're absolutely flat out, apart from 2 little chicane areas. So it's a one where the cars are tested, the drivers are tested, everything's at its maximum around here. So it's blowing the cobwebs away in the finest style coming here.
There were 2 free practice sessions before a single 30-minute qualifying period decided the grid for race 1.
6th is Dan Camish, 7th is Chris Smiley, 8th is Jake Hill, Jason Plato is 9th. That is his teammate you're looking at, Dan Lloyd, who is currently 20th.
Plato pushing on really hard. Yep, look, he's on slicks as well. I think that's where these times are coming from at the end here.
But he's going to be greeted by the checkered flag, isn't he? Because we've got less than a lap time left in the session now.
Jason Plato and Dan Lloyd were 11th and 22nd respectively, but Jason had an incident with Jake Hill.
Talk us through this Plato-Hill situation.
Well, I mean, Hill's got his lights on. There's a long run up Woodham Hill. Jason would have seen him coming all the way. Jason knows he's going in the pits and goes slowly through the chicane. You know, if that, look, the lights are on all the time. There's plenty of opportunity for Jason to get out of the way. And I'm sorry, but, you know, that's naughty. If that was Formula 1, he'd be getting a grid place penalty for obstruction.
I was pretty certain that Jason could see me coming, and having watched the onboard footage from him afterwards, he can definitely see me coming. And I think, you know, the fact that he said the team called him in midway through the chicane, from my side is a complete lie, because, you know, I've watched the onboard and he pulls second gear before he's got to the chicane when it's a 3rd gear corner, and so he's already committed to coming into the pit lane. And then, for good measure, he stamps on the brakes in the middle of the chicane, and you know, I hit him up the back. So yeah, ruined my lap, unfortunately.
Race day. 3 races, but no spectators due to COVID, meaning that fans are glued to their televisions at home. This is a great leveller with no success ballast in any of the cars.
So just getting ready for the first race. About 10 minutes to go before the cars push out. It's quite a big deal because it's JP's 600th race start. Yeah, let's hope he can make a good one of it.
Drivers head to their cars and to the grid. The waiting is over.
Round 1 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship about to get underway. Lights go out, good start by the rear-wheel drive Infinity, and also, as you'd expect, the BMW of Colin Turkington, who jumps ahead of Josh Cook on the way up towards Allard for the first time, and it is Sutton then who leads the way.
It's not long before there's drama.
Fast left-hander, first time you lean on the right-hand side. Oh, they get into a bit of a tank slapper and across the road, and he gets collected by Smiley as he's coming back across the road. Oh, there you see it from the other side.
That was Jason Plato's view. It was all happening ahead of him. Jason dodged that bullet, but that was a big hit. Green flags fly. We are racing again. The outside line here. Camish on Plato. This is for 6th place, but Jason hangs onto the position as they drop into the chicane. That is Plato through on the inside of Butcher. That gives the Astra 5th place. Butcher tries to fight back. A little bit of a rub between them. Butcher gets the inside line for Seagrave and goes back through. Great racing.
That's good racing, but where coming through now is Camish, who takes both of them in one go.
5th, Dan Camish, and 6th is just going to be Butcher ahead of Plato, and Rowbottom right with them at the end in 8th place.
It's 6th for Jason and 16th for Dan. A decent haul of points for JP, but disappointment for Dan Lloyd.
So yeah, first race, it was positive. We moved forward, started 22nd up to 16. Got a mega start, placed the car in a good position, kept out of trouble. I was really expecting the car to be stronger at the end of the race than the start, so taking it a bit easy at the start, and it just went the complete opposite way. But the main thing is we move forward. The goal is to get in the top 12, top 10 in this race to try and get the reverse grid for race 3. So yeah, plenty to change, can improve a lot, and nice to bring the car home in one piece and on to the next one.
It was a positive start too for Jason.
We achieved what we want to achieve in that we've now got a platform, we know what it's doing, so now we can look at the data, make some little small changes. You know, there was parts on the circuit where my car was particularly good compared to Camish and Butcher.
You were consistently 3/10 quicker than Butcher.
Yeah, but there was areas where he was a little bit stronger than me, so we just need to keep tweaking the car. Cool. But yeah, not a bad start.
Race 2 would start with the cars in their race 1 finishing positions, putting Jason on row 3 and Dan on row 8. Now Jason's car would also carry 33 kilos of success ballast, and that would mean it would feel like a rather different race car going into race 2.
Right, green flag shows, 5-second board displayed. It is round 2 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. It is Thruxton, it is Josh Cook on pole, and it is go. Great start made by the Honda, but Cook with the weight leads as they head up towards the complex for the first time. Drama in the background, cars are off, big moment. Big impact there.
Well, Cook actually lost the rear coming through the first part, and he was saved by the rear hitting Ingram. Otherwise, I think he might have spun. Butcher's off at high speed. Oh, big slam into the wall.
And a sudden stop as well. It's a day of drama and damage, I'm afraid, at Thruxton. And Ingram comes up to have a go at Plato then as they head towards the complex for the first time on the restart. And we're up to 15 laps because of that safety car period. We're on lap 7 of 15. Rowbottom starts to inch up onto the back of Plato, and again he tries that move on the outside line coming up Woodham Hill, but it ain't going to work against Plato.
Now we've got Rowbottom trying to get past Plato. Plato's really late on the brakes there. Look, missed the first apex completely. That'll give Rowbottom a really good run out to the corner. Oh, beautifully timed cutback. What a lovely move.
And he's done it.
Perfect. Inch perfect.
Spot on. Dan Rowbottom goes through, gets ahead of the double champion then. Hey, look at them all ganging up on Jason behind. You've got Ingram, you've got Turkington, then you've got Moffat and Oliphant. The queue is growing. And further down there, look, there's more fun and games as Ollie Jackson loses out. Carl Bordley's in the mix. Dan Lloyd is there as well as they all come up towards the line, onto the last lap. Jackson on the inside, Lloyd on the outside. That's 13th and 14th as they go through. So Josh Cook through the chicane, then up towards the line. He's going to be 2 out of 2 in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship.
Jason, with 33 kilos on board, went one better and took 5th, while Dan also made progress and bagged 14th place, meaning that he scored points. There's optimism in the camp, although on the reverse grid draw for race 3, Jason will start only 7th, and now it's wet as well. Round 3 of the championship is set to go at Thruxton. As the lights out, they slither away from the line. Good start by Jelly, and now you'll see those on wet start to pounce forward as they drop down towards the chicane, and right there with them is Dan Camish in 7th place, but Sutton now leading Turkington. The gap was half a second last time through. Moffat and Plato go toe-to-toe. This is for 4th and 5th, remember, and Plato goes through on the outside line, but Moffat gets a little bit of dirt on the inside, brakes late, dives back through. Great racing between the pair of them here. Plato gets ahead of Moffat finally, but Moffat tries to fight back on the outside going up towards Cobb. Jason Plato's had a good first day back at the office, hasn't he? He stays ahead of Moffat. Ollie Jackson is next in the queue, and look at Moffat, he's not giving up, he goes to the outside line. Plato's on the defensive here, very definitely, as Jackson goes one side, Moffat goes the other. Shedden is right there as well, and 2 places lost for Plato. Moffat gets past him on one side, Jackson on the other. Jackson goes out wide. Plato retaliates and goes back ahead of him. Jason Plato having a go at Colin Turkington here to try to gain 4th place going into the braking zone. Rain falling, wipers on, and Plato goes through. So
will it be Hill or Plato? It's going to be Hill.
It's going to be Plato on the line, he just does it. Jason Plato gets his nose in front, and he did it by 7/100ths of a second. Hill 3rd, Shedden 4th, Dan Lloyd was 5th. 2nd place for Jason, and delight for the team. Great result for Adrian Flux with Power Max Racing, and for Jason, who sat out the 2020 season. He's proved he's not race rusty and would leave Thruxton 3rd in the championship. Dan took 5th, a great effort from 22nd on the race 1 grid. For the team, there are lots of positives to take away from Thruxton, but there's no time to relax because the next championship event is just a month away.
Yeah, great weekend for us. The plan was to get 3 good, solid finishes, get some points on the board, but also make some changes to the car so we can, I can retune myself into what works, what doesn't. That's all come back really well.
Pleased with how I race. I've been out of British touring cars for a while, so the racing here is quite a bit different to any other championship. So, yeah, just happy. Got a 4-hour drive home, so certainly makes that a lot easier.
The team had definitely got somewhere around top 5 pace, and we were disappointed from qualifying and potentially the results in race 1. So for Jason to finish 3rd, but more importantly for Dan to finish 5th, so close behind him, it's brilliant. I think if another lap, Dan would have definitely been 3rd, and we've never had that as a team, both drivers on the podium together. So we'll have to do that at the next round.
Next time, we look at what goes on behind the scenes to make a successful race team. Adam has to balance running his business against running Power Max Racing, and Jason looks back to where his long and successful touring car career all began.